Sheffer joining you today. I'm so happy to be here with you for Stamp-a-Faire 2017. Since Papertrey Ink is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year, our Stamp-a-Faire theme is traditional anniversary gifts. Hopefully you've been following along with the festivities so far, but if you've just happened upon this video, then I encourage you to visit the Papertrey Ink blog, link up there, for all the details on Stamp-a-Faire 2017. I am pleased to kick off the 4th anniversary segment featuring linen and silk. For my challenge, we're going to be stamping on fabric and using it as gift wrap. I was inspired by furoshiki, which is a Japanese traditional wrapping cloth. There are some amazing ways that you can gift wrap with fabric. I have here a scrap of white linen, but you could also use a square napkin or even a tea towel. Alternatively, any cotton woven fabric will work just fine, plus it's far more economical. I actually have two scraps here. One is a lighter weight linen and the other is more heavyweight. And that's just going to be personal preference. The lightweight is really easy to wrap, fold, tie. The heavyweight, though, has a much more pronounced texture to the linen. So that's going to be personal preference. I've tried both and they both work just fine. I recommend fabric paint or any multi-surface acrylic paint when stamping on fabric. There's also something called fabric medium, which you can use to mix into your traditional acrylic craft paint to make it softer and better suited for fabric. Regular dye inks stamped surprisingly well on the linen, but do keep in mind that they will fade or run or even wash out altogether if you wash your stamped fabric or if it otherwise comes into contact with water. I'll be using this beautiful multi-step floral image from Papertrey's Beautiful Berries Spring stamp set. The fabric paint I'm using doesn't come in the colors that I wanted for today's project, especially the greens. So I bought a small set of primary colors and just mixed my own greens. I'm using a piece of disposable palette paper to mix up the paint, but you could also use traditional palette, paper plate, craft mat, whatever you have on hand. So let's do this, shall we? First, be sure to pre-wash your fabric to prep it for stamping. Pre-washing linen also gives it the soft, rumpled look that I find so appealing about linen. I found that sponge daubers worked great for applying the paint to the stamp. You can also use the triangular makeup wedges, just the disposable kind that you can get at the drugstore. You want a fairly generous amount of paint on your stamp in order to get a good impression, but not so much that you end up with a goopy mess. So maybe experiment on a scrap of fabric until you get the right balance there. And keep in mind that uneven impressions can really give character to a project like this. Don't think of them as flaws at all. Now, one thing that you do want to keep in mind also is that the paint dries fairly quickly, so you want to stamp quickly, and then you also want to clean your stamp pretty quickly. If the paint does dry on your stamp, don't worry, you'll still be able to get it off. It's just going to take a little bit more effort. This particular stamp set is brand new to me, so I haven't played around to know which order works best for building the image. But here I started with the part of the image that has the stem and the leaf lines, kind of the detail image, and then I filled in with the more solid leaves. Last I went in with the berries and the berry detail, and that worked pretty well as far as being able to line everything up properly. Now I'm just going to stamp this one corner on this project, but obviously you could also stamp the whole piece as well. And I'm going to show you another one where I did just that. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, like I said earlier, there are some crazy creative furoshiki techniques. I love the ease and simplicity of the wrap that I'm going to be showing you here. And it basically goes like this. Place your fabric on the diagonal, in this case stamp side up. I don't know how well you can see this on camera. And then place your gift box or your gift item roughly in the center. What you want to do is bring down the top corner and tuck it underneath your item. Next, you want to take the bottom and you want to bring that bottom corner up and then fold it back on itself so that that stamped part is back on top and shows. And you'll be adjusting that here in a minute, so don't worry too much about the placement just yet. And then you just take the left side and the right side, kind of cinch those together a little bit, and then you tie the left corner and the right corner together in a square knot. Look how cute that is. Okay, and then once your knot is in place, then you can kind of fuss with that bottom corner there. You can kind of tuck a little bit up under the bow and just position that stamped part, that stamped triangle, so that it just hangs out by itself and shows there. Isn't that pretty? Now we have some beautiful handmade and reusable gift wrap. And if you used a tea towel, then of course your gift wrap becomes part of your gift. Now here, just really quickly, I'm going to take a smaller square of fabric, and I'm going to pull this starburst image out of Hello Sunshine and create kind of a more modern geometric looking print. I'm going to stamp the whole thing this time. And what you're going to see here is what I was talking about earlier, where you kind of add to the charm of the piece if your impressions are not perfect. So you'll see as I go here that some of them are a little thicker, some of them are more faded looking, but overall they all come together. So there you go, so adorable. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. I can't wait to see what you make. Thanks so much for watching.